right, guys. How are we doing tonight? Kenny B here from Cities and Suburbs. Welcome aboard. Another quick installment for you. Sorry about the echo. Hey, it is November the 18th, and all you guys that tried to suspend tobacco use today, November 18th, 2021, the quote-unquote Great American Smokeout, which is the actually 46 years ago, was when this was the Great American Smokeout happened and began rather. And it's a good thing. I mean, it's a good day for education. It's not a good thing. 70% of people, by the way, who smoke tobacco, use tobacco, particularly cigarettes. It's the most mobile way to get nicotine and tobacco into you. But 70% of people who smoke polled know that they need to quit. Particularly those probably are folks that are adults. Myself, 35, 36 years smoking. I looked at 46 years ago. Today was the first Great American Smokeout, and I said, boy, that was when I started when I was 12. So I'll be 58 on, happy birthday, Ken. I'll be 58 on November 21st. Coming up this Sunday, and I have stopped my tobacco use. Particularly smoking cigarettes. I was a menthol user, loved my Cools, loved my Newports. Toward the end, when ridiculous prices on tobacco were going up, I switched to more of a generic brand, but never thought I would stop using cigarettes. I got really sick, and I realized that, the older I got, again, that 70%, people know that's not good for them. It just takes that one life-changing event to say, you know what, this is, you have people around you, you're responsible for things, and, you're losing productivity with yourself, and people are taking care of you, and if you keep going down that path, I wouldn't be looking at you right now saying, I have been cigarette-free, tobacco-free for 10 years. It'll be 10 years in March. I can't believe it. Never thought I would even attempt it, but twist of fate sometimes is a good thing. So, hey guys, so anyway, just a little personal rant. If you guys are struggling or even thinking about tobacco cessation, living a healthy lifestyle, whatever that means to you, go to the American Cancer Society website. There's plenty of support out there, and they don't want you to just fall off a cliff, okay? This is increments when it comes to an addiction or things like that. There's steady steps toward recovery, and you have to build a platform. So there's plenty of information. If you could just suspend tobacco use 15 minutes at a time, that's a good thing. So let's jump to another ailment that just happens to be hitting America and the world. By the way, stupid COVID. It looks like Connecticut, Rhode Island, Vermont, New Hampshire are all in the top 10 among states with the highest percentage increase in new cases of COVID over the last 2 weeks, between a 60% and 80% jump. In Massachusetts, we climbed about 60% over the past 2 weeks. Thursday's new case total of 3,196 marked a high single-day records since early February. Thursday total is 546 new cases, more than the 2,650 reported Wednesday. I have to read this. The last day the state saw a single day report with at least 3,196 cases was February 6th. The State Department of Public Health also reported 8 new deaths on Thursday today. So COVID is, we're just like last year. I mean, what is new? Is this news? Maybe it's not news, but it's not good news if it is news. Let me ask you guys, how does this affect your thinking around Thanksgiving? And will you actually go, even if it's family? Will you actually attend an event where you know there's a possible chance of getting a case, not necessarily a lethal case of COVID, but from what I've understood, there's no good case of COVID. Would you attend? Are you still going to attend a Thanksgiving Day feast with your friends and your family? Are they all vaccinated? Do you believe in the shot? That's all up to you guys to decide. It's a leap of faith at this point. Masks are not a long-term solution. Worcester is still having its mask mandate. So let's just hope that we can kind of get into 2022 and look on the bright side of things. So let's think about that. So it looks like the WRTA was fare-free until December 31st. But now, it looks like the Worcester Regional Transit Authority Advisory Board are going to extend the zero fare free program through 2022. So, the average rider pays about $1.50 a ride, and, you can get a card for about $50 a month. But it looks like that the data shows that there's been this trend, and Michelle Wu, who's the new mayor in Boston, was on the Boston City Council, and even back then was pushing for free fare, ridership for the MBTA. This is the WRTA. Again, we've said before, there's plenty of cities. Well, there's about a half dozen cities around the country that have fare-free, regional transit travel. So what do you guys think about that? They're going to zero free program as of January 1st, 2022. So it's going to be an extension. Pre-pandemic, the Worcester Regional Transit Authority averaged more than 200,000 riders each month. Okay. At the start of the pandemic, that number dropped by 50%. So they went into federal bailout and, secured money and helping people keep money in their pocket by not having to pay for public transportation. But that being said, is it a good thing? What do you guys think about, public transportation? I listened to a radio station the other day. I was kind of cringing, alluding to only poor people take public transportation. Now, let's back up a little bit. We have to make sure that we extend public transportation into not just urban areas that are experiencing, poverty or, a demographic, a low income demographic, but there's also plenty of rural areas outside, particularly of Worcester. I'm looking at Southbridge and some related towns that could really benefit from a really good public transportation system, and buses, and in this case, in Worcester, again, the station went on to say that we're not a metropolitan area, we're not. Okay, well, no, we're not. We're included in the Boston metro area, statistical data, but we're not using the MBTA other than our train system. So maybe the whole regional from Boston to Worcester someday will be one major entity that's controlling all the transportation in the area. But I would, you know, it's not just poor people that ride the bus. It is not. And I live in a rural district 20 miles west of Worcester. If there were a bus available on the hour, every hour, okay, that would take me to work, even if I had to stop at a hub and take a transfer, I would do that. Okay, it's proven that every mile that you're on travel on public transportation, you're safer than that mile that you're driving in a car. So it's proven to be safer. Letting someone else do the driving, you know, I know. But what do you guys think about that in terms of having a free public transportation system? Because, you know, it's also said here that, you know, what it costs to actually, the infrastructure, you know, in this case, the Charlie card, the collecting of the money, you know, all that, and reducing a carbon footprint in terms of gasoline, things like that, having people sit in traffic. That's what Michelle Wu's all about right now is, you know, our highways are not going to be able to sustain, it's not going to be able to sustain the volume of vehicles coming at us, you know, in the next 5 to 10 years if we keep at this pace with gasoline going up. I mean, you would think gasoline is trendy. I know it could be, next year it could be $1 less, but nonetheless, is it really efficient to just put one person in a vehicle and have them drive 20 miles, or would it make more sense to have free public transportation? By the way, that's a lot of public transportation is federally funded by, you know, state funded and locally funded in Worcester by property tax. People don't know that. Property tax just does not pay for the public schools. And then so 60%, I mean, the bus companies aren't making a lot of money off your $1.50, you know. It all helps, but to maintain a regional public transportation system is again huge money, and increase the ridership, keep the perception away that only poor people use public transportation. You know, rich, you know, the people who can afford to drive themselves, and I'm one of them, I'm guilty. But then again, if there was a reliable bus here coming up my street that I could take into Worcester, I'm on it. I am on it. No problem at all. You know, you weigh that against what it costs you to sit in traffic each year. You know, your 20 hours of lost productivity, maybe more than 20 hours going to and from. So anyway, let's switch some gears real quick. Worcester Monopoly, pay to play, Ralph's Tavern, not Ralph's Chadwick Diner, but Ralph's Tavern on Shrewsbury Street, was having a shredder party for the Worcester Monopoly game that was supposed to be kind of a write-in campaign, I guess, that was proposed by, I don't know, is it Hasbro that does Monopoly? However, that's what was sold to the city, and you know, the most popular places would get on the board. That wasn't it at all. It seemed like anybody that wanted to get onto the Worcester Monopoly board had to pay to play, if you will. Sounded like there was like a $3,000 fee to get onto the board, and it was also licensed, so the license would expire every 3 years, so you had to come up with the dinero. Not sure all the facts. There's a lot of things coming out with this, but if that's the case, that's a shame. So the Ralph's Tavern on Shrewsbury Street had a shredder, and they were encouraging people to bring their Worcester Monopoly games down to be shredded, and all the proceeds would go to a nonprofit. Okay, So we'll see what happens with that. But it's just, a little tidbit there. And yeah, we talked about the RTA. Tonight, let's just say this, that we have Thursday night football, which I generally don't watch because it's But we have the mac and cheese, and we have some good football coming up tonight. And so comment below, what do you guys think? Tobacco use, give it a shot. Fair free ridership, something's going to come to a head with that, right? COVID, how is that going to derail you guys in terms of your Thanksgiving plans? And I hope you make the right decision and just stay well. And I can't wait for stupid COVID to be gone, by the way. People who know me know that for a fact, my friends. So I'll be back before Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you on the other side. Thanks very much. Have a good one.